Grand, and we are back once again for part 3. Are we at episode 4, Lee? Is this episode 4?
It is episode 4.
I think, alright, episode 4, part 3, Ruralpunk, Magulby. We've wandered out into the bush again, folks, and we wandered through the surrealism zone to get to the creepy hunting lodge, and we found some teenagers who were just sort of chilling out up here. They seemed to like it. It's fine.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah, so we left our...
super chill and doing super well.
And we are going to be okay. Yes, we left the last scene on a sort of stormy standoff kind of look. I will just summon something for you all. Minimum viable product. As long as it works. So I got a nice clock in the middle for you there called Win 'em Over.
Beautiful.
Yes, so the kids are willing to hear your argument, but whatever is pressing on the outside of the building is getting more insistent. You're on a limited time. It is likely to get in and cause trouble very soon. Okay. So what do you do to sort of bring them over to your side? What are you willing to offer? Because the thing is, they seem happy out here, and they absolutely seem to think that this thing is a pal.
Yeah. Acheron is going to go with the "hey, I'm just like you" route and just continue hitting that nail because, my God, they've only got a hammer, and everything starts to look like a nail. And do the whole okay. Let me just check this out for a sec. Is gonna cup their hands over their mouth and do not a full like calm or slow or anything, just puff of frozen, kind of cold air. Does the whole glowy eyes, not glowy eyes. What did we say it was? Did we go glowy eyes? I think we might have gone glowy eyes.
I think it was glow.
Yeah, soft.
Yeah,
soft glow from inside, kind of thing. Do that, and then be like, "See, I get some cool tricks. I told you there's. I've got the thing on my shoulder. It does talk. So you know what? All for talking to the friends from out of town, shall we say? But
I got Jesus in my corner. I got you.
But at the same time, not gonna lie, have accidentally killed a couple of people in my time. Turns out, cold's kinda nasty when you get right down to it. So, just, take it from me. I know it's cool. I know they're good friends. Gosh, they help you out of some pinches. Just want to double check that everyone's being real careful about this. Yeah?
The water starts to frost over as you're trying to feed it to your friend, Madeline. He hasn't got a name yet. He's Colin now.
Cheers, Dad. You appeared in the, as the long
I'm so
hand.
sorry. Yeah. Time travel, everyone. You go back 30 years when you go to the Outback. Oh, I'm terrible.
It's alright. There's a joke I could make, but I won't, because he's probably embarrassed enough that we mentioned his name on the podcast.
I'm sorry. Yeah. It's
Keep it in. He's Colin now.
Consider it a production credit. Yeah. So, yeah, just the number of people I know, I can't not be naming them in games. Anyway, this needs to go on the Patreon. Yeah, the water sort of frosts over as you're trying to feed it to him, and it's like, oh, dang.
Not again.
Feel free, attempt a social skill, Acheron. I'm intrigued to see how it goes.
Okay.
I just like to make you suffer.
Yeah. I feel like, again, this is definitely another connect.
Feels right.
So, no push themselves this time, because I want to save that last 2 stress for, something that really matters.
If you're typing already, as I was just thinking, for sell out, sell out in this case would be to mislead them, essentially. Just like straight out lie to them and try and, I guess, get them back, get them back to town on false pretenses. Just bait that hook, I guess.
Ooh.
I guess that would be to imply, add into your, once again, camp counselor kind of, oh, I've been there. But, your folks are worried. It's like we just need you to check in. Doesn't need to be permanent.
Yeah.
That would get them back into Sergeant Small's orbit, if you understand.
Yeah. I think I am actually going to take that, because I think that is actually something that Acheron would do, because I think the fact that Acheron had to call in a favor to get this thing off of our backs, I think Acheron is pretty certain that the kids are out of their depth, and has this sort of vain hope/expectation that they'll be able to manage Sergeant Small so to mitigate the consequences. Hilariously overconfident person that they are. So,
gotta be worth a shot, right?
Yeah. So, I think also at the same time...
Madeline flashes back. It's like, if you do that again, I'll probably shoot you. When did I draw this?
Yeah, because I think at this point, like, the main thing... Acheron doesn't even necessarily want to, like, oh, we'll get them back to town and, like, they'll stay there permanently. I think at this point, Acheron's like, they just need to get out of the hunting lodge right now.
Yeah, we need to get them away from this thing.
And we can clean it up and they can come back and turn it into whatever they want once the Chimera's gone.
Yeah.
But,
I'm feeling that, like, that manipulative angle, that cuts against anarchy pretty hard.
Yeah.
Even if you might not realize the consequences till later. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And also against equity, so. 6.
Nice. I get to put things on the clock. So interacting with the mechanisms that make the game go. And it's like, they sort of look around at each other, and that rumbling, like, there's a couple of moments where you have to sort of speak up over it. Yeah. And you put your hand down on the table, and like Frost comes away. Oh, is your guilty playing into this?
It should be. 3.
Yeah, okay.
Straight down the middle of the road rolls.
Look, get your delicious XP.
Yep.
Cool. That's the thing. I've got to tie the consequence to your own emotional state here, which makes it a little. Oh yeah, I see what's happening. Okay. You put your hand down on the table, and as that glass frosts up, Madeline probably notices that the ice is beginning to spread, and it's crawling along the bench, and it's crawling along anything else it can get its little tendrils on. And you sort of realize it keeps doing that even after Acheron takes their hand away. Maybe our friend hadn't gone home as hard as we expected.
Ooh.
Yes. So, and that rumbling gets even angrier as that happens. So, yes, we get the sort of tennis look between them, and it's like, and Axel's like, it's been a while since I checked in with my brother. Been a bit. We're not having our phones, huh? And they're sort of,
Yeah, no, totally gets like that. Once you don't have it with you, it's like, well, I'd have to go all the way back, and I'll do it tomorrow, right? It just gets out of, like, it just slips your mind.
Madeline, what are you doing in response to this? Like, you managed to get some water into Colin. Poor Colin.
Yep. I'm gonna go. Madeline's like, look, this could be a really nice place here. But we need to, go back, get some equipment, and actually come here prepared to work on it, and make it like functional. We can get the electricity back up in here. You know, you can have a feed connection. We can get you, you know, hot water tap. Even if it's just as simple as that. But we don't have there isn't the stuff here to do that. And, you know, it has to be sanitary.
I kind of love this as what would we call it, like the PE/health teacher pitch. It's like, gang, you can do it. Just be safe, okay? Yeah. It's like, yeah, so roll it. Yeah, go for it. Like, it's a solid argument.
It's a solid argument, but Madeline can't really speak to people. So
look, Acheron did it as well. So look, feel free to push yourself. I'm just thinking how we could twist this.
It's the same sort of thing. It's the go back home, get equipment, and come back. And
I mean, true. I feel like it's just too easy to take that sellout for the reward once you've already made it, because I'm not making it any worse.
Yeah, that's the thing. I gotta broaden it / add to it, I guess. So,
look, I might take guilt. Can I take guilty?
Look, roll it first, because you can sort of do that after the fact.
Yeah.
So if you want to roll it and see how you do, and then just jack it up to a 6 by adding guilty.
No, it's a 2. Because I have nothing in connect or any ego, so I'm gonna grab guilty because I think that works as well. It's like I've seen the argument that Acheron's making.
Probably
it's necessary
a lot clearer than Acheron actually saw it.
And it's important that in order to get these kids safe at the moment, it's important that we make a consistent argument, even if I don't agree with actually getting them back within Sergeant Small's sphere.
And I do see a sort of it's not a knuckle bite, but you do see the sort of tension in your hands cracking as you're running them through this. It's like, come on, we can do better than this. It's like no sense living up here without being sensible about it, and just that sort of tension in your shoulders as you do. Grand, and it's like. And yeah, like that rumbling on the roof continues, but they all sort of look at each other and it's like, you're probably right. Mary says, like, I don't like to admit it, but she's not going to like it. She's not going to like being left here alone.
That's all right. We're not leaving her alone. They have feelings too. By God, I know they've got feelings too. So, but what we are doing is we are coming back prepared, and so that you always got to leave your friends at the end of the day, right? And go home, but you'll be back, and if they're really your friends, they understand that, right?
The kids sort of shrug and they sort of start making moves to pack stuff up.
Yeah.
So they are on board.
Cool. Acheron's gonna sort of nudge. Sorry.
I was gonna say, is it worth risking blowing it to an extent by telling them to make sure they stay clear of the sergeant, or?
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you all what to do.
Yeah. While Madeline decides that, because I think I'm not sure that we blow it necessarily. They probably already know to stay clear of the sergeant. But while Madeline's deciding that, Acheron's gonna sort of nudge her and go, well, if that's her out there, I'm gonna sneak out, have a look, because we still need to know what this is. And if they are going to come back out here, we 100% need to know what this is. So I'm going to scout. Can you manage this gestures vaguely to walk over and sort of clap Toby on the shoulder and like, thanks. Real help today. Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah.
Did well.
He's managed to get, he's sort of sitting in the doorway. He's managed smoke lit off like a little camp stove that they had. Oh no, it was the wood burner. So he sort of smudged the top of the wood stove to get it going, and it's like, Like, oh yeah, no, just almost got murdered by a fence. I mean, car accident, that was fun. Yeah. Salvador Dali landscape.
How does... No, I'm not going to ask how Toby knows who Salvador Dali is. Toby, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah, it's like I am just going to smash some downers and sleep for 8 days when we get home.
Good plan. What an excellent plan. I'll be back. And Acheron's going to sort of tuck the hood down a little closer and head out the door and back down towards where the boundary is again.
Yes, as you step out and the rattling roofs are sort of firing around you. For one, that frugy smell again, you recognize that the only place with an active generator is the cold room, for whatever reason. And yeah, a lot of the heat haze seems to be emanating around that.
Okay, I'm seeing a very specific image in my head with this, but sure, let's go to the cold room.
Mm-hmm.
Acheron's got cold. Acheron understands cold.
Uh-huh.
Let's...
Yes. As you, like, we get the dramatic open, sort of light pours in, and you hear the sort of, like, all of the kids kind of perk up, like a moment of sort of tension as you hear the door crash open.
Yeah.
The light, that sort of last gasping twilight pours in, and we get the, like the jangle of the meat hooks from the roof and the sort of like rustle of chains as Acheron sort of steps in, and that cold bed begins to crawl over their back and shoulders.
Okay.
In the sort of breath, there's almost a figure standing beside Acheron as well, something sort of following along, and it steps away into the shadow. But no carcasses. At the very back, there is at the very back there is a hunched figure. Looks to be swaddled in like a bunch of like coats and things.
Okay. So
you get the sense of a low, heavy breathing.
Yeah.
And that creak of metal.
Alright, so Acheron's gonna sort of sit down a little way away from the from this figure. They're not gonna close the door because if worse comes to worse, they'll just make it cold inside. Since this thing seems to like cold. And they're gonna sort of sit down a little way away and before they say anything, make a scan. Do they recognize this thing? Is there anything that's making the shoulder squirrels seem nervous about this? I only have one skill with 2 pips. By goodness, I'm going to use it. That's a 3.
Yay! I'm gonna. Oh yeah, this is gonna make her work harder. So I'm gonna get some blowback. I'm gonna point it at Abby.
Oof. Okay.
Because I wish I was as good with like the pop culture references as you are, Lee, because I can just never manage them. Like even my aunt's like, not worth.
What sort of thing? Literally, I have just a Google list of quotes up. So what sort?
I understand now why you cry, but it is something that I can never do.
Okay.
But yeah, like as you sort of like your eyes are passing over this sort of hunched figure hidden at the back of the cold room. And that figure in the fog, like that almost sort of humanoid wispy silhouette, sort of reaches out and like lays a hand down on what maybe is its shoulder, and there is this like awful howl, sort of like guttural booming cry, and the figure sort of like staggers away back further into the room, trying to shield itself with its forelimbs. You catch the sense of a long muzzle and like clicking metallic joints under all of the swaddling, and like, yeah, you hear from the squirrel, like in your head rather than from its mouth. Get out, get out. You don't belong here. And you hear the meat hooks
Ooh.
above you begin to swing and creak and lower. Sort of metal in the roof sort of screeching against them.
Acheron's gonna sort of hold their ground for just a little while, and like sit well back in like the I couldn't get up quickly even if I wanted to kind of pose, and just hold up the hands. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. I'm here as a liaison. I'm not here as a representative. I just wanted to say we're gonna take a bit, but I promise someone's gonna be back. We aren't gonna leave you alone out here, okay? I promise. I just need you to let us fix something first. And then we'll make sure someone comes back.
And once again from the squirrel, it's like, you cannot take them. This was not the deal. You cannot take them back to that sick place. And under the sort of cowling, you catch the sense of over the muzzle a pair of sort of empty eye sockets, and they're like boring into you. Like, they are protected. This is mine.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's some. That's not always how it works out. Unfortunately, I know that. I know I know that. But we're gonna look out for them. Okay? I just need you to let us just trust us for just for a little while. Please.
How convincing are you?
Not very.
Roll it.
Roll it. Okay. First thing I'm gonna do.
Give it something. Roll it, or like.
Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out what I can.
Because you won them over, but the patron is not.
Yeah.
Not happy about this violation of territory.
Yeah. And I'm just wondering whether there's something that I can use in my load to make this not a completely terrible roll. Okay. So these things often work on a sort of, not necessarily a bargain principle, but like an exchange type of thing. So Acheron is going to take out something from, gonna sort of reach into one of the pockets.
So many pockets.
And this is one of the inside ones. Is going to reach in and is going to pull out a little wood-carved panel that's got a little... It's not even like a proper sigil. It's just just a geometric pattern. And it's a little plate of wood with the pattern sort of cut out of it, almost stencil style. In just geometry. It's relatively thick. It's quite sturdy. And it's obviously been done with a hand tool rather than a machine. And is going to put it on the floor and slide it forward towards the creature and go, I'm going to be back for this. This is important, but I want you to keep it until we bring what is yours back.
What are you giving it beyond the promise? They do often work on fairy logic, so it's
this is actually a memento from Acheron's father.
Ah, I see. All right, cool.
So this is important, like personally important thing that I'm using as a guarantor, basically. Or what do you call that?
Yeah, like collateral.
Collateral, that's it. So I'm going to have to use connect again. But can that bring it up to a 1d6 instead of a roll 2, take the lower?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, we've sort of done away with the tiered shenanigans that we see in Blades, the sort of levels of desperation. So
Yeah.
got to do something with all that gear.
Yeah, of course. I'm actually... Can I also push myself to make it?
Yeah, sure.
That brings me up to full on the stress track.
Well, yeah, look, that's fine.
Yeah.
This is important for the game's evolution.
This is absolutely important for the game's evolution, and I think if there were any point that Acheron were going to push themselves beyond their limits, it'd be a personal check with a chimera, not with a human.
Sure. Yeah.
I think this is in character. This is how this works. Mother of fuck.
And you're already guilty, aren't you?
I'm already guilty, yeah.
Okay, roll another dice as well. See how well that goes.
That's 6.
Yeah! Alright, so something good comes of it. Alright, so things on things, yeah.
I hate. There's not. That's a transitive verb. There's no object. I just hate.
Flowing out there. Alright.
I feel hatred. Okay.
So you slide it across, and an unnervingly human hand from the wraps, and it sort of clutches it and runs its fingers over the carving, and it says like, yeah, it's like, take them from here, from a place of safety, into the land of slaughter. No. You and your patron can leave, but they may not. Meanwhile, in the clubhouse, the rattling continued. And remember how I said that the roofs were all made of corrugated iron? Like we get as the kids are sort of getting their bags together, and it's like, all right, good, yeah, like we're feeling all right. A bit of a detour back to town. We'll be back in no time. This will be fine. We get a moment where you look up and you see the roof sort of scrunching itself like tinfoil. And the more it closes, the more you begin to see the silhouette of a bull. Like the sort of forward-facing horns and the long, just black pits for eyes. And this thing begins to sort of sculpt itself out of the metal of the roof and is beginning to claw its way down into reality. What do you do?
Look at what I could possibly have in my...
Perfectly normal screaming metal demon.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
It's Tuesday, isn't it?
I tell the kids to get out of the house, or out of the lodge.
Yep.
And I want to use scientific knowledge to see if I can figure out how it moves itself. To see if there's anything with knowledge of machinery I could then apply to it.
All right. Yeah. Look. Take your scientific knowledge. The way that the metal's moving, and we are getting into real fakey science right here, because chimeras. But essentially, what it is like magnetic field projection. It can build and manipulate the metals, like Magneto from X-Men does,
Cool.
by applying ferromagnetism. And it's very strange and very focused, but it essentially puppeteers them that way.
All right. Madeline's plan is to rig up some kind of fuck-off cattle prod and take out the magnetic field with an applied electrical current.
Beautiful.
Yeah, like if in doubt, EMP the psychic magnets.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is technology.
This is the content you tuned in for.
I love it. Yeah.
This is my major paying off.
Mm.
Never mind the $50,000 of debt.
This is the content you tuned in for.
So yeah, it takes them a second to double take. But yeah, they sort of glance back and cheese it out of the lodge, and this massive four-limbed bull sort of like lurches itself into a stance. It faces off against you, and those empty sockets glower right at your heart. We see Madeline scrambling in the bag. What have you got for us?
I'm going, and I'm so glad I picked more light load. My God. I'm ticking it from my load, but I think it makes more sense if I find it's not quite working.
Mm.
So there's a portable Jenny in the room that's, on its last legs.
Mm.
I'm also portable Jenny and spare parts. Putting some rubber handle, and I'm hooking up the generator to a pole, and I'm gonna shock it. I reckon this needs a fabricate roll.
That feels about right. Yeah, you're doing it in a hurry.
Okay, I'm also going to push myself.
Feels about right.
2 stress for 1 extra die.
Correct. Those times when you need to...
Oh,
fuck, I needed that extra.
You needed that extra die.
That was close.
Okay.
What are you worried about?
Okay, yeah, 5.
All right, yeah, so... Whew. Yeah, okay, so, you sort of, fire up as the thing is, very dramatically pouring the ground and winding up to sort of come at you. You're sort of, fiddling and desperately wrapping duct tape to hold this thing together. What does your attack look like? What does your stunning strike look like to us? Yeah.
It's going to be in classic underdog hero fashion, waiting for it to charge to then counter attack. So it's gonna come at me, and it's just gonna with a cattle prod spear.
Nice. So yeah, as you sort of leap to the side as it charges, and you drive that that flickering electricity into it, and you see it arc. It arcs. It sort of arcs up and over the rooftops, up and over, in between the buildings. You feel a lurch of that heat haze as suddenly you can, you glance up, and suddenly through the open roof you can see starlight as another howl goes up from the freezer block. It's down. It's not staying down. So that's going to be our compromise here. You've got time to run. You've got time to get out of here. What did you do about Colin?
Oh, they're not taking him? Jesus Christ!
They're not moving fast if they are. Just checking.
Okay, what's my... Oh, no, I've ticked too many things. Because we've got... I ticked... Oh, wait, I don't need to tick, or I can use it more than once.
Yeah, scientific knowledge. You tick it, but it doesn't take a load. It's because it's in your brain.
Yeah. Okay.
So for a moment, your shock prod has managed to disrupt the emanations that it was using to mess with your brainwave. So, as I say, for a moment, you see a patch of clear sky.
Would you allow tick 2 loads for armored vehicle and the kids have a car?
Yeah, if you want.
It seems like the best way out. Otherwise, we're outrunning the thing that, like, could use its powers from far enough away that it was still a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then again, Lee has no idea what's going on.
So like the metal ball shrieks and sort of collapses. It's still twitching, and you see it trying to right itself as you back up out the door. You glance at the freezer block and its open door. What do you do?
All right. Okay, it has to be there's a car outside because I can't see it anyway. Oh, actually. Did I see it?
I was going to say, the flashback does kind of make me smile, where you've just parked this like 3 days ago and then gone home on a bicycle.
I'm actually thinking, but then again, Lee and we've got walkie-talkies.
Yeah.
Like,
we established
what's going on? Like, we need to fix this immediately or leave. What's the deal with the freezer?
Ooh.
Acheron, the words you are getting from the squirrel right now are traitorous, false diplomat, spy. Okay. Oh, a sort of tirade of these sorts of words. So, as the creature has howled once again and shrunk away from something.
Okay. So just to clarify, can I tell if the shoulder squirrel is directing that at the thing that's in front of me or at me?
It's talking to you, yeah.
Okay, so it's talking to me about me, not to me about it. To
you about you, it is essentially translating you.
Right, okay.
The thing is talking in psychic projections. It doesn't speak like people do.
No, I realise that it's yes. It is calling me a traitor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Has
someone just blasted its psychic field?
Does Acheron have any idea of whether cold is helping or hindering it?
An interesting point.
Because
it's living in there for a reason. Yeah.
Yeah.
Madeline can break the generator.
Yeah. It is living in a cold room, for some reason, but it also uses fire because the barrier was a fire thing. So,
incidentally, the barrier was heat haze rather than fire itself.
Yeah, heat haze.
It was,
I think we're going to make things worse if we break the generator. I feel like the cold isn't so much hindering it as containing it.
And incidentally, Toby wasn't far off. Once again, given when you disrupted its psychic field, Madeline, like when that dissipated the heat haze. Once again, Toby was actually reasonably on the money. And that it was in your brains. It was not exactly real.
Yeah.
So,
oh, okay. Sorry, I just got what you meant with the shoulder squirrel. Okay. Sorry, I assumed that was a message.
Oh, good. I'm really sleepy too.
No, I assumed that was a message from my mentor rather than the thing that's sitting across.
It is.
Yeah, the thing is talking to me through the shoulder squirrel and calling me a traitor. Gotcha. Okay, I was extremely worried for a second there.
Now,
I thought I'd fucked up on an order of magnitude beyond this.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's very upset that you brought your patron with you, but yeah. It's upset for other reasons now too.
It is now upset for other reasons. Okay.
So yes, how is Acheron reacting to this tirade? I think is probably the message that Madeline is getting.
Okay. So I think Acheron is going to...
It seems upset enough that it's about to rip you apart with meatballs.
Yeah. Shit. Okay. So what's going through my head at the moment, for the benefit of the audience, is that, and me not just sort of staring blankly at a screen for 5 minutes while I figure out what I'm doing. So
I do that in everyday conversations.
Yes, but this is show business, honey. So basically what's going through my head at the moment, not necessarily Acheron's, is that if we take these children away, Acheron does actually intend to bring them back at some point, and if we torch all of the bridges with this thing, that's a very bad idea. We're going to have to come up with another solution, which is not necessarily...
You also agreed... Yeah, you also told Abby you were going to bring it back.
Yeah. That's becoming less of a thing.
If the kids are not entirely there voluntarily to come back...
Yeah, I think, but the thing is, so Acheron does have a point in enforce, is what I'm considering. But I do not have the skills or the abilities to go up toe-to-toe either magically or physically with this thing. Technically, I don't have the skills to go toe-to-toe with it, ego-wise either, but that's what we're rolling with because that seems the less immediately dangerous. I also have the ability...
It's actually much more dangerous.
I do have the ability to tick off stolen knowledge, though, which is so if I can swing it, that Acheron, in the moment of the psychic break, has, the stolen knowledge, and this is going to end up, if I play this right, this is going to end up very, very sentient cockroaches, but Again. So what I'm thinking is...
Right, we never broadcast that one. It's fine.
Yeah, well, it's fine. Tick off stolen knowledge. Say that I had some sort of insight or something into what it's actually scared of. Offer to bring it back to town with us so that it can keep an eye on the kids that it's protecting and it's not separated from them. And give it to Abby with the proviso that she keeps it safe.
Worth a shot.
Because
stolen knowledge.
That's the only thing that I have at this point that's... And it's also going to leave Madeline a little bit in the lurch, because Acheron's going to be attempting to deal with the problem in front of them rather than E.T. phone home just yet. So
when that psychic field breaks a moment, you get... psychic fuzz kind of dissipates a little, and you get a second. We are going to designate this creature as the Unslaughtered.
Yeah.
It's a livestock experiment that got loose from the lab. It's been horribly abused, and it's trying to protect these kids because it's scared that they're going to have the same fate if it lets them go back to town.
Yeah. Okay. So Acheron is going to use Enforce because at this point they are actually attempting... Whoop, we've lost the DM again.
Oh, I'm still here.
Oh, no, you're still here. Oh, we just swapped.
You hear me?
Oh, the stream...
I moved the... I got rid of the clock,
Got rid of the clock. That's fine. All right, cool. I just had everything switched places on me. I thought we'd lost you because
everything's moving again. Great.
I have multiple windows in front of the video of your lovely faces. Anyway, so Acheron's going to sort of take that, use Enforce, because at this point they are very much trying to sort of push the my way or the highway a little bit, and is going to say, all right. How about this? We can take that. We know that thing's not real out there, by the way. Nice try. But we've seen through it now. I can radio back and let them know, and we're just going to leave. I don't think you have the physical capability to keep us here. But how about we compromise? You come with us. We know someone in town who opposes all of the experiments, all of the people in charge. We know someone who's on the side of the wilds. Come with us. We'll make sure you're safe with her, and if she refuses, you can, like, we know places that you'll be safe. You can stay with the kids. You can protect them in town. We will keep all of you safe.
Gotta be worth the shot.
So, does secret knowledge give me a die on that, or do I just roll my...
Just roll it and we'll see how we go. Yeah.
Okay.
It definitely gave you that leverage, though.
Yeah.
So let's just see how hard it hits back.
4.
Hooray!
That's okay. Take the hard move. I don't care.
Hard move.
As long as we've got this thing to...
Yeah, Sergeant Small's going to be pissed, but that's a problem for later.
I am less scared of Sergeant Smalls than I am of this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just call Chippy. Chippy, if Sergeant Small shoot us, stand by with her.
Stand by with the first aid kit. He's going to try and shoot us again.
Okay. That's okay.
I love this. It's like, install anarchy in town. Once again, those sightless eyes, the covers sort of slow off a bit, and it is, you see that this poor thing has this very sort of bovine kind of face, and it's hunched, and it's sort of held together with like a metal exoskeleton, and it's like...
Yeah.
Now we've
lost the GM. Okay.
Hour and a half. I feel like maybe if I can boot over my Discord in the breaks, maybe we can avoid this happening.
Maybe. We got metal exoskeleton on a bovine figure.
Yeah, so like it sort of sloughs that off a little, and it's like, and it's it just says like, you'll guarantee our safety, all of us, the whole herd. It's like,
guaranteed, whole herd.
And for a moment, it sniffs and sort of glances at that frosty silhouette, which just dissipates and departs, and it's like, it's like, your promise is heard, so let it be witnessed. And very slowly, it begins to sort of crawl towards the door.
Alright, Acheron's gonna, like, very cautiously, like, go up and sort of very slowly go to, like, help it so that if it doesn't want to be touched, it can sort of make a move, and Acheron will know not to touch it, but is going to go to offer it some help to move out the door.
Look, it seems to do its best to ignore you, but it is moving very slowly.
Yeah, Acheron's
got a distinct lumber.
Acheron's going to sort of get the arm under, sort of help support it and see if we can't get it moving a little faster, and it's going to pick up the radio and go, alright, one more. We've got one more coming with us. Oh, and I've promised that we're going to keep everybody safe, okay? So we're going to do that. How's it looking out there?
How is it looking out here? Sky's clear?
Yeah, the sky's clearing.
Was the bull real?
The bull has collapsed, yeah.
But that was real? Like,
it was
that's
real,
like the roof isn't back up. Okay.
The roof is still caved in, and in more or less the shape of a bull. just glancing around, and there are these creepy dolls just like slumped over the fence, sort of humanoid figures made out of baling wire, and it's like, as the horizon begins to resolve again, with you sort of like ushering these children into your battle car. It's like, all right, they've stopped.
I feel like we get a scene of like...
So like...
Oh, sorry.
Oh, so I was going to say that I will be... Because the buggy was only like... Is down the...
Wasn't far, yeah. You could collect it.
Yeah, so Madeline will be checking the buggy, and I'm assuming they've got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so between the buggy and the station wagon, we can all get...
Yeah. Just like when you said armored vehicle, the first image in my head was you just find a car out there and start throwing like plates onto it.
Oh, I was just ticking armored vehicle, but there was really was the
Yeah, the point is, at a plot level, you have an exit. You hotwire their car. It's fine.
Cool.
But yeah, like you just sort of gather them together, and as you are sort of moving to depart, they sort of start. Well, who's driving who, I guess. But yeah, the car sort of starts, and the horizon starts to clear.
Yeah.
I guess I have to drive. I don't think anyone else can the buggy. I don't think it makes sense.
Mm.
And Acheron can't drive or doesn't drive.
We mentioned that, didn't we?
We established that Acheron doesn't drive. I'm not sure if they
doesn't
can or not. Yeah, I think it's probably that they can't. They may have learned sometime in the past, but they haven't used the skill in long enough that they don't trust themselves behind the wheel, basically.
Yeah, you sort of flag all the kids into the back of this van. It's like, go, go, go! And Toby's the last one, and it's like, you're driving! It's like, I'm driving.
I'm imagining me there, standing with the fucking, cattle prod. Go, go! while Ron's still, negotiating, I'm just get out! Brandishing the prod,
Yep. The bull rights itself and knocks over a wall and starts to close. It's like, go, go, go! Yeah.
I'm getting
this thing limps out after Acheron, the pool collapses. Yeah.
I'm getting this very end of cabin in the woods type thing where we've got everyone sort of driving off into the sunset, and behind you see the bull just make one last rolling turnover and smashing something, and and Acheron sort of sitting in the back with this huddled bovine figure driving away down the road, and just hears the sort of squirrel, because the squirrel always has to get in one last word, it seems.
Nice to meet you.
You know how I said I'd kill you last?
Oh, I had one right here, and it's gone now. Where
I was going for the food, the meat eating, nice to MEAT you.
Nice.
Yeah, I can't find the. I was looking directly at the quote right up until I started talking.
Oh, no.
But I think it's probably something along the lines of, well, here's another nice mess you've gotten me into.
Fair enough. Yeah. And I think we might leave it.
That was it. Sorry, I found it. It's better.
Okay. Yep.
Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer.
Fair enough. The other thing I like about the squirrel is this is also the future, so we can just make up pop culture references.
This is true. This is true.
Yeah. But I think with that thing sort of slouched over you and Toby driving a station wagon over this beat up road, we might just pan up and leave it there.
Yeah.
And we'll handle the fallout next session.
Yeah.
Because I think we're getting to about the end of our rope.
He's going to shoot us.
He's probably going to shoot you. He's not in a good mood right now. While I remember, you did fill in Abby's obligation, though. So I'll give you that plus pip. You've generated one bond and
18 grudges.
4 or 5 bad ones. So
God, is it that many?
It's quite a few, yeah. It was a run. A lot of middling success there.
Yeah.
Do we want to do XP before we tag out? Or?
Yeah, just so that we keep things in mind. So
keep it session to session. Yeah. Pepe, do you want to run us through?
Cool. I put my pip from exert while hurt. Sorry, it was finesse getting the guy down. Yep. I addressed a challenge with technical skill or invention.
Oh yeah, both.
MacGyver.
I did both.
MacGyver.
Yeah, I could take 2 for that.
And attempted to surpass technological limits.
You fought magic with science.
Yep.
Yes, you get that.
Cool.
This isn't actually magic. This is magnetism.
Cool. Yeah, I'll take my I keep forgetting to use my skill, like my magic skill. But
Oh yeah,
fabricate works well enough.
Yeah. Generally, you're actually doing it. I think the key with the with your skill is it's almost techno necromancy. It's like you kick the car a couple of times after it's exploded and it keeps going.
I just realized I forgot
maybe if you think of it that way, it might help.
I just realized I forgot to roll guilty on that last roll because it was also an ego.
Roll guilty, Lee. I'm not going to add any more consequences. I just want to see if it's anything fun.
It's a 6.
Well, didn't things work out for the best?
Things worked out just fine.
Yeah. It's the Unslaughtered probably trusts you a bit more.
Yeah.
Cool. Epic. Okay, yeah, sorry, Beppe. You got a couple of your condition rolls in, I think, but yeah.
Yeah, I did. I definitely that's I think that's 3 XP because I did I did the 2 and then I did the other thing as well.
Awesome. Good stuff, yeah.
Nice. All right, so
tag those down, yeah.
I figure we'll deal with my stress at the beginning of next
sacrifice
session.
And belief next session, yeah.
So I rolled 4 times against my
I think it only goes up to 2.
Only goes up to 2. So that's fine. I addressed a challenge with knowledge, I would say. Given I specifically ticked off knowledge at one point to use.
Yep, seems about right.
I think I wouldn't say I addressed the challenge of the children or the teenagers in the hunting lodge with valor, but it's whether promising to keep the chimera safe counts.
I don't think so. That was a bit of a stretch for that one.
Yeah.
If anyone was a knight in shining armor this session, it was definitely Madeline.
It was definitely Madeline. Did I attempt to explore the mysteries of the wild?
I think you couldn't avoid it in this one.
Yeah, really couldn't avoid it. And my response after starting to get the kids out was definitely, all right, now I need to go find out what we're up against. So... I'm going to say 1 for that.
Pay that, yeah.
And I don't have any beliefs to embody yet.
Yet, you will soon. Very good, gang. I think that's that, and we're about at the end of our time, so that's good.
Yeah.
I will handle all of our fallout. I'll probably do a little bit of bookkeeping in between times, but we'll run through it when we get to the other side.
Yeah.
But the one thing I will remember is there were indeed 2 elements of sellout as we did this. One was manipulating the kids, and the other was throwing Toby under the bus, more or less, by summoning your patron in his immediate vicinity and making him ill. So I'm going to put 2 pips in your sellout clock. This has not taken you to a threshold yet.
Okay.
Can you think of a moment where, and this is a chance to bring it back, either your team put itself at risk to help vulnerable people, or you embodied anarchy by investing in individuals and defying authority?
Well, Madeline did make a gigantic cattle prod to put herself in the way of a gigantic raging bull to save some vulnerable kids.
I was going to say the other side of it is you have absolutely fucked over the only police officer in town.
Yeah.
And he's going to shoot you.
Right?
Yep. Love the heroism, but that's the anarchy. So I reckon you can claim 1 back. Which is pretty special.
Yeah.
It's remember how he promised you he'd help? We did the opposite.
Well, in a matter of speaking, he wanted that situation dealt with, and
he wanted
the kids aren't there worshipping thing. That's not happening anymore.
Just because
Like, we brought them and their cult back to town where their parents can keep an eye on them.
Yeah. And he doesn't need to know that we also brought them back where their mysterious bovine experiment god can also keep an eye on.
Yeah, will he know that how's he going to find...
Yeah. Abby's certainly not going to tell him.
I was going to say, I don't think he and Abby are on speaking terms.
Yeah.
So, if he goes up to investigate, he just knows that we took our shoes off.
Yeah, I know. It was a bit of a roundabout way of my saying it's like, you leave a bunch of evidence that you're not, you're not playing square. You make them run away with your shoes off or something. It's like, you guys like, what is all that shit doing here?
I think Sergeant Small's still not going to be impressed with us. I think it'll probably get back to him that we talked to Abby about it, and that might be what he gets annoyed about.
That could be the other biggie,
we went to the other cultists, and he doesn't believe that we've really stopped the kids. He just believes that we've done minimum necessary to... Anyway, we can sort that out next session.
Yeah. Yes, you are in Abby's good books, at least. So. Yeah. And you've got a very nice sort of low level of... for, like a general, like a sort of overview of your community sheet, you've got like a nice low level of pretty well off with most people, but a couple of folks who just utterly hate you.
That sounds
Sergeant Small, and to an extent, Middle Maggie as well. Like, she doesn't hate you, but she believes you owe her big.
Yeah.
Which is fine. And she is absolutely game to come out with you next time, because she's bored. But yeah, we'll just roll entanglements at the start of next session, I think.
Yeah.
Cool.
Deal with that when we get there. But it has been an awesome run. Sign off, I guess. Either of you got pluggables? Because
no, not yet.
Yep. As always, find me on whimsyandmetaphor.com. There are books, you can buy them. There's links. I promise they're good, or at least worth your time.
They are.
Yeah, they're good books. Read them. Fucking read them. That's me fucking hunting out our PG. I done so well. Fucking. All right. It's like, yeah, look. Liberation Industries, Whimsy and Metaphor. At it again. This very attractive episode 4 of Ruralpunk. Find us at liberationindustries.net, or indeed my newly released cocktail videos on Liberation Industries YouTube, because somehow I've got to go to Lee's place during lockdown to get the actual game VODs to put on there. Woo! But until then, you get Bottle Bottom with Patty, which is me making cocktails. So,
Wonderful.
It's been a time, gang. Thanks for coming out. And, don't trust the mirages, and good hunting out there in the wild.
Wear a mask.
Wear a mask.
All right.